Okay, we're starting the recording, how to promote your website and search engine optimization and more. And Olga Grant has kindly allowed us to work on her website, and she gets the benefit of some search engine optimization work and learning how to promote a website, which is essential for every single real estate broker and salesperson in the world, because what good is a website if you don't have any traffic or little traffic going to your website? The importance of today's session, of course, is you get one lead off your website and you can make a lot of money. And you should be generating leads on a regular basis. And if not, then you need to take this particular webinar once a month. You can register for it by simply going to iciworld.com. In fact, I'm going to show people how to register in the future for this, because a lot of people will be seeing this for the first time. And let's see if we can bring it up here. You simply go to iciworld.com. This is a free service from ICI World. You click on For Members, and it also includes all brokers and salespeople in the world. This is a free service. You come down here, and you'll see two webinars. This monthly webinar, Mastering the Powers of the Internet and How to Work Exclusive Information. And I personally believe, and you're going to hear this more over the next year, that most brokers are only using 25% of the full potential of their license to make money in real estate, and that's because there's exclusive information you could be working. You can have your information on thousands of other brokers' websites, the exclusive information and your regular listings, and you can have widgets working on your website triggering leads for you. So a lot of brokers do not have all of this working for them, but the internet has opened up more power for your individual license to make money, and the industry is just starting to learn about it, but everyone's overwhelmed with information. Everybody's suffering information overload that people haven't had a chance to even look at what we've designed, and starting to spread it throughout the world of the real estate industry, of which there's about 1.5 million licensed real estate people, and then there's another million that may be unlicensed. So there may be a market of about 2 to 3 million real estate brokers and salespeople, and just in North America, and let alone the rest of the world. And when you learn how to do all this stuff, there's an easy way to be working information worldwide and taking benefit. Now, this seminar today, how to promote your website, has been designed over a period of years. We've attended World Search Engine conventions, and you're going to get the benefit of us spending literally $4,000 to attend these World Search Engine conventions, where the attendees were people like Yahoo Corporation and Microsoft and Google and others. The Vice President at Google attended this World Search Engine convention, and we're going to bring you some of the benefits of what we have learned from that. There's no absolute guaranteed way, because the algorithms from Google change regularly, but we can start to give you some of the things that they do search for, and they're changing all the time, because as you get new social media, that becomes one of their algorithms to include that. And we're going to show you that if you register your website for 10 years rather than one, you have an advantage. You are going to learn some tips and tricks throughout this seminar that can help you go forward. And it's going to be kind of hard to write them all down today, because this seminar really should be a full day seminar. 1 second here. Okay, so that's where you go. You just simply click on it, and when you click on it, you'll see that there's dates every single month, and you can register for any of these dates, and we're going to kind of help you. And this goes for whether you have one of our websites, or goes if you have one of a website from 30 major world real estate website type companies that's special and cater to real estate people. This works for every single website that a real estate salesperson must have, and it's targeted for real estate brokers and salespeople. And let's continue on. Okay. Now, when we attended these World Search Engine conventions, there were rooms throughout the convention center, and there were workshops going on where there would be a panel of experts, of search engine gurus and computer people, and 1,000 people attended this thing, all professional, not real estate people, but computer people that specialize in working on the computers and websites and stuff. And there was only 2 real estate people in this whole convention, myself from Toronto and another gentleman from California. And they would actually analyze all the websites, and they go into the meta tags and the keywords and all that stuff for search engine optimization purposes. But one of the things we've also learned from talking to a lot of the website companies that we supply widgets, so ICI World supplies content for all brokers' websites. We've also learned that a lot of them say, just get the pay-per-click going. Get the pay-per-click going, and you can write that down, pay-per-click, and we're going to give you actually $75 in today's session, absolutely free, that you can use towards your advertising. We'll announce that as we go through here. So you're actually going to now be actually making money from just listening to this seminar because of the $75 we can actually give you for this 90-minute session that we're presenting to you. And we'll be telling you that a little later in the session. And this particular advertising that you do with pay-per-click, for instance, brings you to the top of the search engine within 48 hours. Now, I know this particular session that I'm talking to you on now, I cannot talk as fast as everyone is listening right now, and I know that each of your brains is going way faster than when I'm talking, so I'm going to ask you, you're going to have some patience with me while I speak clearly for everyone, hopefully, and as I have patience for you when we work with everyone one-on-one. If anyone wants further questions answered, and bring all your questions at the same time. Again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, let's go to our main website. We've set up something where, by the way, we cannot have 40 people calling in at one time on ICI World, but you'll notice there's a make an appointment scheduler up here, and when you click on that, every person can have a free consultation by clicking on this 60 minutes here, and you can actually select the day and select, and you can go right on into the future and pick a day and just book it, and you'll see that we have times available from literally 6 a.m. in the morning, and we go till about 3 in the afternoon. And you just make an appointment, and it's a free consultation session. We'll show you how you make money using our services. There's no obligation to join, but we love every single person listening to this to connect with all the brokers and salespeople on the service, because one of the most important thing is when you click on search and you search here and you click on search, and there's many ways to search for properties in your area. You click with one of these people, go show the property, and you make $15,000, and there's haves and wants and listings all over. And one of the essence of having a great website is you have to have a website that triggers leads for you. If your website is such that people can see the addresses, that means the customers visiting your website can drive by the properties first before even calling you. Meantime, you're trying to spend all this money on search engine optimization. You're triggering people to go to your website, but then if they see the addresses first, is it possible they might drive by the property first before calling you, or call the other broker who's got the property listed? You could actually be triggering business for everyone else and spending money. Well, we're going to show you how you can be in ensuring that people call you. That's also going to be covered in today's session, and it's going to happen hopefully within the next. Don't forget that the 90 minutes that we do here is a culmination of being on the internet for over 20 years, learning all this stuff. So there's very strategic, we call it powerful, because if you get one lead and you end up making 25,000 bucks, we call that a powerful idea, powerful concept. And that's what you have to dig in and really get your brain to say, geez, what is this that can make the difference between having my website make money and a website that does not make money? The measurement tool is, you'll see on the screen, it's called a pledge. It's a commitment. This is the commitment from ICI World for all brokers and salesperson members. If I click on measure your success, you're going to see come on the screen is what we call a measurement tool that you can measure your success with ICI World. And there it is there. You shouldn't go longer than 90 days, everyone listening in here, without either doing business, triggering lead to do business. And if for some reason you're not doing business, we recommend that you give us a call, because we find that we can go in and analyze. There's about a checklist of over 20 items that we can check whether or not you're taking advantage of things on the internet. and we can actually help you start to fix those. So your progress on the internet will always be learning new things, and what you're going to find is the more you learn, the more you're going to find out you don't know, and it can be a little frustrating. But if you start to put all these things in place, it's all automatic. A lot of this stuff is automatic. You put it in place and it works for you, and it's wonderful. The stories that we're getting, and to see those stories, that's something else you should do, is just go to this homepage again. This is designed for brokers and salespeople, absolutely free for everyone to go to. Just click on these testimonials and you can read all the wonderful deals that are going on as a result of the stuff that we're teaching everyone. You just kind of go through here, and these were all done, by the way, with exclusive information. The only reason I bring this up in the beginning is to let people know that if you're going to listen to this video, this is a money-making video for every licensed real estate salesperson in the world. And this is to literally show you that every single broker can be making money, working the concepts, the tools that are here. Sometimes people don't have enough patience to kind of listen through it because we're speaking not as fast as you think. It's not like Dancing with the Stars and, you know, you love watching what's going on. This is kind of got to bear down and kind of put your thinking cap on and really see what it is that's going on here. All right, so this is called content. A lot of these people got leads from both ICI World and from their website, from the listings that you can have on your website. So we covered the testimonials. It's cutting edge technology. There are new things happening every day. There's new algorithms with Google happening all regularly. Because we're in touch with 20 major website companies and other people working on this stuff daily, we like to share this with real estate people and have us spend the money learning how to do it and then sharing it with our members. And the reason why we share it so generously, there's sort of a method in the madness here too, because you'll find that some of the widgets from ICI World, if you don't have them, it doesn't trigger leads, but if you have them, it starts to trigger leads, and that can be the difference, and we kept it very economical. Okay, let's move on. And just so you know where we're coming from this whole approach to what's going on the internet from a broker's point of view. This is not just a design service. All we do is websites for real estate and websites for, you know, businesses and pizza shops and stuff. We're specializing in nothing but real estate, lowering the costs for brokers in their office, empowering brokers to make money and to serve their clients well. And that's all we do from a broker's point of view. So we think we're sitting in the chair of a broker's office. How can we make it easy and wonderful to trigger leads? In one of our future seminars coming up, you're going to hear about it. It's called Diamonds on the Floor of a Broker's Office. There is so much money falling off your tables. Unbelievable. If somebody, we'll give examples of that in our other seminar called Mastering the Powers of the Internet and How to Work Exclusive Information. And you'll see that there's a lot of money, and most brokers, in our opinion, have only used 25% of their license. That's a tall statement coming from us, and I'm ready to get many of our members who have learned how to do this stuff. And they're telling us that some of the largest incomes that they make are actually from deals they've done through ICI World. And it actually is 50% of their income for the year and even more. But you can use all the tools from real estate boards and from ICI World and others, but we're simply saying to incorporate them in your business, and once they are incorporated, it becomes automatic. Now, the reason we mention some of these other things, and you'll see we also have a CCIM background. We recommend every single person in the business get their CI 101 under their belt. It will help you market investment type properties, duplexes, triplexes. And when we see ICI, industrial, commercial, and investment, that includes duplexes and triplexes and fourplexes right up to apartment buildings and 100-unit buildings and the like. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, absolutely essential. If you have those, you can put your website addresses on each of those that you have. Put it on Facebook, make it a fan page, talk about your website and what you've got on it. And people that visit your Facebook, maybe from a friend point of view, a family point of view, they can end up seeing your website, and then they say, oh my God, I didn't realize you were so well connected. You got 200 buyers for apartment buildings. You got buyers for this, buyers for that. They're going to see how well connected you are, and they're going to have a newfound respect for the connections that you have in the business. So that's part of the things that we're doing today to kind of help you, is to get those social media all working, get your website out there, tell them what's on your website. Another thing is to build a major resource center on your website. We're going to talk about that as well as we go along. And so those can be very mighty important tools. In fact, that's one of the algorithms of Google. They search your website and see if you're connected to the various tools. And you know something, maybe Google Plus should be on here too, because if it's Google search and they like searching their own tools, and so you can maybe include that as well and get those onto your website. And when Google searches your website, they're going to check, do you have the social media buttons on your website, and those kinds of things, as well as the keywords and meta tags and all of that. Okay, let's move on. The website is, some brokers haven't taken it as seriously as you could, but basically it's your office building on the internet where there's 3.5 billion people. Actually, that number is now up to 3.7. I'm actually going to save that right now, doing it before your very eyes. I just changed our PowerPoint to 3.7 billion people. And so why promote with a passion? Well, this is your business. It's the very same when you first, if you're opening your own office or you got your own shingle and you got your own for sale sign. This is like a for sale sign on the internet, and people come there. Not only do you have your own real estate for sale, but you've got all kinds of other brokers' listings that are going to be on your website, where other brokers have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website that can trigger leads for you. And the beautiful thing about real estate is it provides the highest return of investment of any industry on the internet. Why? Because one call, you go show a property, can make you $25,000, $100,000. It can make you $200,000 if they call you on a piece of land or a shopping center. And for regular brokers, even just doing a referral averages $3,000 to $10,000. And if you're not taking advantage of that, you got to dig and dig and dig and learn until you get this working for you. And that's what we're here. We are challenging every single broker in the business to get in here and start learning this stuff. I know, listen, we're learning stuff every day ourselves, and we like to share that with everyone, because just one lead can make you a lot of money. So sending a buyer to your website, if they see a listing, wow, isn't that wonderful? If your website can send out listings to your customers, isn't that wonderful? Well, we all know that your real estate board can send out the listings, but your real estate board can't send out the exclusive listings. They only send out their own listings. So having a website that can send out exclusive listings as well is another major advantage. These are tools that brokers are missing out on, and you can simply include them because you can have more than one website. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and you'll see we'll go over some of these items as we go through this session today. So get excited, put your running shoes on, get your exercise, go out at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning when all the businesses in your area are all open, get a bunch of business cards with your website address on it, get your mobile phone with your website on it, and start going and talking to every business in your area, door to door to door, and say, I just wanted to stop by. I'm getting some exercise, and also meeting all the business owners in the area. If you're looking to buy or sell any real estate, I'm the realtor in the area, and I'd like to introduce myself and say hello, and let you know that we got a website with a lot of good information on it. We've got the latest listings, commercial, residential. We got exclusive. We got MLS. We've got all kinds of things, and with pictures and slideshow displays, and I have a resource center that's got all the latest events happening in the area. I've got, and the question that you should ask everyone you talk to is, are they looking to buy or sell any real estate in the next 1 to 5 years? Next thing you know, they're going to start telling you, well, my son is getting married and they're going to be looking to buy a house in another 3 months. All those kinds of things start to come out if you ask that one question. This is another question to open up a line of communications. Do you know of anyone thinking of buying or selling real estate in the next 1 to 5 years? That becomes a have or a want. And you should have and want sheets all printed out. Print them out from ICI World. Just look for it in our training programs and you'll find them. If you have trouble, just book an appointment with us and we'll help you print them out, whether you're a member or not, because it can help you connect with members. And we're actually a salesperson for every member here to help. It's just like a real estate board helps promote all the listings, and we do the very same thing. So if you can send all your customers, everyone in your sphere of influence, and get them all to go to your website, they're going to be asking you questions on various listings from time to time. And that's going to keep them in touch with you. One of the biggest problems we have in real estate is 2 years from now, after you've sold somebody a house, they end up buying from somebody else because maybe you never kept in touch with them. Well, if you can have your mobile website on the phone of every single one of your customers, 2 years from now, when they think of real estate, they might go to their own phone and search for real estate, see a listing, and give you a call. And now you can have your mobile website, and this becomes an advantage to you to have your mobile website on every single one of your customers' phones. And there is a race that is on right now. And I'm going to give you the explanation of that race. Hang on one second. I'm going to type it in here. It's called ICIWorld.com/race. And this is a race to get your mobile website onto the phones of every single one of your customers. This is not the search engine optimization. This is getting your mobile website, which is not an app. It's a mobile website, as a shortcut. It uses up 0 resources on a person's phone. So if somebody's worried about that, about using up resources, tell them it uses up 0 resources. So the race is on to get all of your customers to kind of get your mobile website onto their phone as a shortcut. And a good example of that, in fact, could actually bring it up right now. Let me see if I can do this. Where did we put olgashomesforyou.com? Let's see if it's right here. olgashomesforyou.com. And there it is. There's a sample website. I'm going to show you how it's mobilized. When we bring this screen in, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller, maybe the size of a mobile phone. Let me just get rid of some of all these other screens in the background here. Hang on one second. Okay, there's a sample of a mobile website. People can come to this website, and you'll see that it's a nice, clear, plain, simple, concise. It's got all the credentials that Olga has in this particular case to let her know she's a member of all these services. And this can be very important because you're building up a rapport with people that don't even know you, and they can see that you're a professional, that you've spent a lot of time, care, and attention to learn all these various things to help people, and you're a specialist in these various accreditations that you see here. So they hope to get some really good advice and counsel from you, and this is important for you to have on your website. And then on their mobile phone, they can click on this hamburger button way up here, these 4 little lines. This is a shortcut that people should install on their phone. And we can show you how to do it, and we're happy to show you how to do it. Even if you're not a member, just open up a line of communication so that whenever you have questions, feel free to call. We kind of think every single licensed real estate salesperson in the world will eventually, or should eventually, use ICI World to network exclusive information, which we've become known for. We're now a national database in Canada for exclusive information, and we're looking for a partner in the US to really expand it. But you'll see how you have various choices here, and if people want to go ahead and search, they can click on this mobile website, and the beautiful part about it is it's going to bring up these color photos of homes right on their mobile phone. So people can search this on their mobile phone, and when they click on one of these pictures, what's going to come up, and I'm going to call this, what you're about to see, I'm going to call this the ultimate in marketing on the internet. Because there's Olga's name, there's her phone number, there's the picture, and you'll see how people can now start looking at the inside of a home. Very, very nice. Oh, what a gorgeous garage, boy. I like one like that. Look at the beautiful kitchen. I mean, this is what people can see. Now, there's 3.7 billion people that are using the internet, and you've got to make your homes available like this on the internet and get people interested in properties. If you don't have these kinds of things on your website, then you're not going to trigger a call from one of these kind of listings, maybe from something else, but you'll notice that you do not see the address on this particular listing. So the people in this case, if they see this home, they have to give Olga a call. So promoting your website is Very, very important, because you want them to trigger a call to you. Now, in addition to that, ICI World supplies some widgets, which is this residential exclusive widget that you see coming up on the screen. And we've got to get Olga the new one. We have a new one that is a mobile one that you can bring up on the screen. But if somebody clicks on one of these listings here, any place, up comes the listings on the screen, and they're all sorted by price. So people can actually go right down to their price range, and if they're interested in one of these listings down here, they try to click on that number. They can't do it. That's one of the other big lessons today that everyone should learn. If you have listings on your screen that they can't click on, they're going to go back up to the top, and they're going to give Olga a call, and they can do that by simply clicking on Contact Me, which is Olga down here, and they can go down here, and there's a nice little form where they can put the message number in, put their name in, an email, and send her an email with that message number and asking for more information on that property, or they can pick up the phone and give her a call. Now, in some cases, we have strictly residential brokers, and they're saying, why should I have commercial on my website? Again, this is to trigger a lead. You know, you can say what you want, but you got to have a website that's properly structured in the first place before even spending money on search engine optimization and spending money on pay-per-click, because if people come to your website and they don't call you because they can see the other broker and end up calling them, you can be sort of wasting a little bit of money here. But if you have things like commercial, for instance, and these happen to be exclusive listings as well, and you'll see that it's properly formatted. People can pick any city that they're interested in, and they can search by keywords and, you know, hotels, motels, gas stations, restaurants, etc. You could be a residential agent, and if somebody happens to come here, but maybe they're interested, now there's a list of buyers. Can you imagine if you're trying to list a little apartment building? There is a list of over 300 buyers of apartment buildings on your website right now. That shows and proves to people how well connected you are into the marketplace of buyers. Are you using that in your listing presentation? Are you talking to people about that? They're more likely to list with you as a result if you have that list of buyers. And then if they are interested in apartment buildings or shopping centers or anything, they can click on it, and up comes the list. And in this particular case, there's over 400 apartment buildings that are on this website here. Olga has them, and people might come right down to the bottom, and then they can actually go down to the bottom of this page, go to the next results, and maybe they're only interested in this one for $650,000 or one of these other listings that you see here, and Olga can get the call. And you'll see that you can network exclusive listings coming for sale. When somebody calls you on that, you tell them, well, I should be getting the listing in 3 months or 2 months or 1 month or next week. As soon as I do, I'll put your name on the list, and you can be one of the first people I call once I get the listing signed. You know, one of the advantages of listing, two of the advantages of listing with getting a signed listing and putting on a real estate board is because of the network of people. Instantly connected. You put it on there and it's instantly displayed. Secondly, you can, and when you put it on a real estate board, they put it on the internet where everybody in the world can even access it. Well, if you have a piece of exclusive information, there's one service in the world that has a major network for exclusive information, and that's ICI World. In addition to that, we put everything on the internet where we get people from literally 138 countries coming in regularly, the same as a real estate board. But then in addition to that, you can network exclusive information on ICI World, something you cannot do on a real estate board. You must have a signed listing to put it on a real estate board, but there is a way to work information verbally from the owner that we teach, not in today's session, but in the other session, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You must do it in a proper fashion that's compatible with your real estate license and in compliance with your real estate license. And because we've been brokers for over 40 years and been doing this for 20 in the whole field of commercial and residential real estate, we'll show you how to do it in a proper and competent fashion. So any one of these can actually trigger a lead for you, and next thing you know, if you don't want to go to Niagara Falls, no matter where you are, and to show that property, you're going to call the other broker and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? So you can start triggering leads to do referrals. And if you're not triggering leads to do referrals, you're not going to do referrals. It's as simple as that. Well, you need listings to trigger the leads. And we're showing you how you can add this particular links that you see here with a simple email instruction from us. We send it to you, and you forward those instructions to your website designer, and then they put them on your website for you. And so you will have all of these listings on your website in the way that can trigger leads for you. That gets your website set up properly so that you can be triggering leads from your website. People cannot click on them. They have to call you for more information, do a referral if you don't want to market this kind of property or in that particular area. But of course, you have the choice if you want to. Now, for all the retired brokers in the world, for all the part-time brokers in the world, there's a major important service you can provide to the industry because of this service. If somebody can, if you're retired working at something else as at another job or something, you can actually have a website that triggers a lead to the brokers maybe that are working full-time. And this is wonderful for the full-time brokers because now they're going to get 2,000 other brokers' websites that are triggering leads from them right from Florida, right to California, and right up into Canada and throughout Ontario. You name it, they can trigger leads for you. If this happens to be your particular listing, you can get a referral from another broker and end up doing a deal. And would you mind paying another broker 25% in consideration of them doing that referral for you? And then that way they can spend money on their own website promoting it, start to trigger more leads, do more referrals, and maybe you'll catch up to the best one that I know of is someone that's done 15 referrals. Yes, that's a total of 75 minutes of that person's time if you figure 5 minutes each. Well, there's a little more time because you have to take the check to the bank, so you got to cash it. 15 referrals, the person actually made $45,000. It was a RE/MAX agent doing 15 referrals, and that's over a period of 6 months. So you can trigger leads to do referrals, and that's the kind of thing we call it working smarter, not harder, by having these kinds of listings. And there's about 6 widgets from ICI World that you can have for your website, and you've got them here. Now, if you have little or no traffic going here, then people are not going to call you because there's no people going to your website. So that's why you got to get your website set up first, and then let's go ahead and promote your website. And we've already talked about promoting your website to all of your customers, your sphere of influence, getting every single person in your sphere of influence to add a shortcut to your mobile website. And you've got to learn how to teach people how to add a shortcut to an iPhone or an Android, and then they can have your website on their phone using up 0 resources. So if their phone is kind of going dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not going to be because of your shortcut. It's going to be because of all the apps that they have on their phone. So yeah, get excited. It's promoting with a passion. Over the next 1, 2, 3 years, the brokers that are taking advantage are on the cutting edge. They're going to get the first chance of taking advantage and making these tools available to all their customers. Very exciting. And so there we are. We just talked about it. Get every customer in your sphere of influence to place your mobile website as a shortcut on their mobile device. And there's the address if you want to read about how that's done. ICIWorld.com. You can just mark that down on a pad of paper, write it down. You can follow up on that. ICIWorld.com/race. It is a major competitive advantage. Every single one of our members should take advantage of it and be doing it. Okay. You will also have not just real estate board listings, which every broker has. There's no major competitive advantage there when every broker has the real estate board listings. But when you can have exclusive listings that other brokers don't have for residential and commercial, that becomes very exciting, so that your website becomes actually more important when you think about it, because other brokers are missing out on showing you everything in the marketplace. Whereas if you have the exclusive listings as well, they also have the benefit of that. More choices than other brokers. And it's permanently on their phone, using up 0 resources. Now, website optimization. Let's talk about that. Links to listings is the key. Now, we're talking about having content on your website, and we've shown you how to have exclusive in MLS. Triggering leads to do referrals in business, and you measure it. How often, people? How often do you measure it? every 90 days, you got to be triggering a lead to do business of some way, shape, or form, whether it's a referral or some direct business. Otherwise, you've got work to do. Get in. It's not just us that can help you. There's other people can help you, including the website companies that you belong to. Don't let it sit for a year and expire and say, I didn't get any leads. Call them back and say, listen, I need advice. I want people coming to my website. What can I do? Start hounding them. Start bothering them. You're paying them money, and they owe a little bit of advice to you on how to go about doing it. And that's the right question to ask. If you're not, if your car doesn't go, you go back to the dealer and find out. He's going to tell you, put some gas in it. Okay, you know, that's exactly what you need. You go back to the people you got it from, ask them for advice to kind of do this kind of stuff. We're one place that you can also ask. Now, in our particular case, we have some requirements. If you do get a website from us, websites are like billboards. You can have more than one. The ones we supply are basically free for a month, and then they're $16.50 as of, let me see, what date are we doing this? We're on August 30th, 2017. Prices can change up or down at any time, so I'm qualifying that in the future. If you're listening to this 1, 2, 3, 4 years from now, which we have videos that we've recorded from years ago that still apply to this day, albeit a price change might be in order. Look after your to-do list. By the way, it should be an investment, not a cost. Investment means you get one little referral, you make $5,000. It just paid for 30 years of service. Okay, that's what it's like, these websites. And the people are worrying about the $16.50, and you look how much it costs for you to take courses and get your license. And this is the thing that makes you the money. Planting the seeds on the internet where there's 3.7 billion people and giving a chance, it's like, marketing is a lot like fishing. If you don't put the line in the water, you have no chance to catch a fish. You gotta put the lines in the water, people, and you're providing a great service for the public because they're going to find out about listings that they never found out about before. If you put an exclusive listing onto ICI World and it's on 2,000 other websites instantly, and another broker from one city ends up calling you and say, listen, I got somebody moving from our area into your area and they asked about this listing. Can you look after it? And it is a 25% referral if you're okay with you. They're providing a good service, just like doctors doing referrals and lawyers doing referrals to people that specialize. This is what we do as a general practitioner, residential agent. You get a call on a commercial listing, do a referral. Commercial brokers, you get a call on a residential listing for $1 or $2 million for a residential home. If you don't want to go sell it, do a referral. Although the commercial brokers on our service, they're happy to go and sell a $1 or $2 million listing themselves. So it's money. It can be money in the bank. If you can get a showing and they like it, you write the offer and negotiate it and help them out. Now, the beauty with ICI World, we only allow licensed real estate brokers to join, so the information is all being filtered through the hands of brokers, which protects the public. Our service is a major protection to the public when you think about it, because people, all the brokers and salespeople go through extensive courses to learn how to be careful of people that are trying to commit fraud and identity theft and all that kind of stuff, because that's one of the things they're trained to kind of watch out for. And so that's why it's good to deal through a realtor, because they can protect the public all along the way. Now, we're recommending, and there's some people that if you haven't made money on ICI World, they never had any listings on it, or they didn't have the widgets working on their website. Simple. By the way, if you've ever been a member and you've ever listening to this again, we'll give you a one-time restart privilege, and we'll talk to you about that. Make an appointment. We'll see what we can do to help you. Take advantage. Get the listings working on your website, because they're absolutely inevitable to trigger leads. If somebody sees the listings, they have to call you. They can't click on the number. When you put photos on the websites we supply, you better have at least 5 photos, or other brokers can actually block your listings from appearing on their website. That is something we found with some brokers, that we're not making money. So you're going to see there's a lot of things that you might not know about, and we do have a major checklist. If you read our pledge, it'll take you into something special called material defects, and there's about 20 of them that are absolutely, you miss a material defect, that there's something wrong, and you could be missing doing deals and not even realize it. And the only reason we like to point it out is because now we have an opportunity to help you correct it, and we love to hear the success story afterwards, how it helped, how we added value to your use of the internet by examining all these various little things. You know, if you have a buyer that's looking for something and you don't place their want on the internet, you're actually a secret agent. You're keeping that want criteria secret. You should be placing it on here. If you need 10 or 20,000 square feet for a building, 100,000 square feet or something, you should be placing it as a want, giving the developers who are checking out our service. We got 30 to 40,000 people a month strictly interested in real estate. We don't do anything else. Other websites got all kinds of things happening, and how do you measure whether actual qualified buyers or sellers? Well, we've had nothing but compliments from people advertising on our service that they do get qualified buyers and sellers calling them. Usually within 4 calls, you could actually be having a showing, and then if you have a showing today, you have a chance to make money today. If you don't have a showing today, you make 0. So program your buyers' wants in here and give a chance for people to find you. If you need space for a dentist office, or you need a home for like a private entrance for 700,000 or 800,000 in Brantford or Brampton or someplace, put it on as a want. People can respond to you. And it's wonderful, the results that people are getting. Either another broker, and one of the largest sells a major $75 million office building in Toronto was sold as a result of a want. Somebody wanted office buildings $20 to $100 million, and it was a mortgage broker that responded to that particular broker. And if you ever want to follow up on it, just go read the testimonials that are happening on ICI World from doing this stuff. Half the business is being overlooked by every real estate board in the world when you think about it, by not posting the wants of what buyers want. You can do that on ICI World, and hopefully one of these days real estate board will incorporate the service, and we'll make it easy somehow to kind of keep it going forward. Need a few dollars to keep the service going and build it, because we're pouring everything into it to keep it going, and it's really worthy of having a lot more and building it for every licensed real estate person in the world. Now, and we talk about a resource center here, and I'm actually going to go into it in this particular session and actually show you what we mean by a resource center. I'm going to go up here to ICI World and go to our member login for members. And on the left-hand side, down just a little bit on the left, there's a resources, and one of them is these training videos. I'm going to click on that, and actually I'm going to log in as me. Hang on 1 second here, and hope I get it right the first time. There we go. Okay, let's log in. Hang on, try it again. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Let's just go have a look here. Try it again. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Sorry, an error occurred. Isn't that strange? I'm going to have to, 1 second here, please. I'm going to go ahead and log in. I've just logged in, and you'll see how I log in, put in the login information, and log into site, and it welcomes me. And I'm going to go down to our training videos here and bring up private and confidential for the use of executive members. And we're going to go down here, and I think it's number 14. Yeah, resource links. I'm going to click on that. And there's a resource links ideas. And I wanted to bring this up to you. Now, the people, if you want, you can mark this particular link down, iciworld.com/website resource links.htm. That's the only way to get it. If you're not a member. If you're not a member, we're sharing this with you right now. And what's the significance of having a resource links page? Well, we're suggesting that your website can become a center of influence and assistance for every single one of your buyers. Can you imagine somebody new moving into your area? They don't even know where the city hall is. Where's the community centers? How do you get a hold of the schools to register? You know, where are the shopping centers? All of those kinds of things, you can have a website that has links to these kinds of things. How about reasons to work with a realtor on your website as a resource? Why not have that right on your website? How about the gas company and the hydro company? People don't know who to call for all of this kind of stuff. How about calculating land transfer tax or estimating cost for a lawyer? If somebody asks you to try to explain estimating costs for a lawyer, and you try to sit there and explain it, it's not going to be the same as sending them to a page within your website in the resources that they can print out and really understand it. So you should have all of this information on your website. How about a moving day checklist? Right there, a moving day checklist. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So you've got it built right into your website. How about where the police station is, and weather, maps. Events is another big one. You can link to the events in your city, and that's changing all the time. And if you link to a page that updates itself, you only ever have to put it in your resource center once, and you can even go there yourself and check what are the events on for today in my city. Where are the festivals? So where's things going on, like the street festivals and stuff like that. Now, in addition to all of these things, these are like links to other websites. You can get other brokers to link to you. And that's part of what we call reciprocal links, where you can get other brokers to link to you, you link to other brokers. That's in addition, and you don't have to put that in, you can put that in your resources as well. And that's wonderful. So people can link back to you. If somebody goes to a mortgage broker's website, and maybe they can click on the link that takes them to your real estate website to search for listings. So all of those kinds of things. Did you know that you can even sell advertising on your website? Can you imagine if you put advertising for a car dealership on the front page of your website and you sold 3 cars? That's pretty darn good. You could sell advertising for $500 a year from your website. And there is, if you ever want to discuss that, who are the people that you could sell advertising to on your personal website? You put it on there. And maybe what you can do is do a deal where if your website happens to sell something as a result of sending that person a customer, would they give you some kind of credit or consideration for you doing that? So your website can actually become a profit center irrespective of real estate. So there's things that you can do on your website that we're trying to open up your mind. This is just the beginning. People were scratching the surface. Brokers are just learning this for the first time, even though they've been around for 3, 4, 5 years. Everybody's so busy with their nose to the grindstone just trying to make a buck looking after the family that you never had a chance to think of what you can really do with these websites. And we're always on our end trying to come up with these ideas to kind of help you. And the thing that prompts the ideas, to believe it or not, is when somebody can call us and say, in the last 90 days I didn't make any money. What am I missing? What could I be doing? We love that opportunity to be able to speak to you, and we have a checklist of items that you can actually go through to kind of update yourself. So that's like a checklist. There's the link, icirworld.com/websiteresourcelinks.htm. Okay, let's move on more further. Go back to ICI World Home here and move on. We will be covering some of these items as a review as we go along, but let's move on. With the websites that we supply you, there will be a to-do list, and you must log into these websites a minimum of once every 30 days. Some brokers haven't made money. Their website domain name actually went down. It wasn't even working. They couldn't believe it, because you think it's permanent? No. A car needs an oil change. It needs tires inflated from time to time. The same thing with a website. You need to check it to see if the links are still working, to see if your domain name needs renewals. So many brokers, gets 1 or 2 emails to renew their domain name. They don't see the email because they were on holidays, and the domain name goes inactive. And because they didn't renew it within the redemption period, they actually lost their domain name. And then when they try to get it back again, they found somebody from England actually jumped on their domain name and registered it. And if you want it back, they're happy to give it back to you for $1,000. So that's kind of a con game that's going on out there. You better put your renewal of domain names on auto renewal. That's one of the few things that I'll use with a credit card, giving them a right to auto renew my domain names, because in case you miss renewing it on time, you can actually end up losing it or costing you a lot more money to get it back. So that's the resource center we suggest everyone have. You must have listings on your website. If you don't have listings on your website and you only got your own 3 or 4 or 5 listings, whatever they are, then that's all the chances you have to trigger a lead. So why not have literally hundreds and hundreds of listings that people have to call you on? It's like having a shoe store. If you only have one make of shoe in your shoe store and somebody doesn't like it, they're going to walk out if it doesn't really suit them. So why not have more brands? And that's what every franchisor and every person tries to give you a selection, whether it's food or clothing or computers or whatever. You go into their store, they're giving you a selection. You should treat your website as a store. It's a store where people can come to and maybe they can see listings. And listings is your product, but your service is giving service. What you're doing mostly is you're really selling service when you think about it. And you want to give service by providing these various different products. But when people call you, your phone should be working. It shouldn't be, you should, next time you talk to this customer, tell them to set up their phone because it hasn't been set up. How many times we call sometimes some realtors that have that on their phones. You know, you got to double check all these things, and we're sort of like a checklist because we work with brokers. We're a society of real estate brokers and salespeople helping brokers network not just exclusive listings but market their regular listings worldwide. We can go through some of these checklists and things with you to make sure that they're actually working. So the concept of structuring to hide addresses can actually be very important to trigger leads. And samples of some of the listings that you can have on your website, you'll see them here. If you could tell people that you got Power of Sales on your website, go check it out. They're going to want to check it out. If you're talking to a restaurant owner and you tell them you've got 200 restaurants on your website, check it out. You can have all these other keywords on your websites, waterfront properties, coming for sale, sandy beaches, all those kind of things. And the same thing for businesses, you know, hotels, motels, restaurants, gas stations, etc. So these are examples of some of the links you should have on your website to trigger leads. So the links to listings are from ICI World Widgets, and because we've been going for 20 years helping brokers in the industry, we've got it down to a proven science, procedure, technology's all in place. You just have to add it. And we simply send you the instructions and you send it to your website designer. But you need a follow-up phone call, just like if you had an operation from a doctor, he wants to see you 2 weeks afterwards, make sure it's all working correctly. And we're finding that sometimes with some website companies that are not used to us, they haven't installed them correctly. So we actually get together with that website company to make sure that they install them correctly for you. And it's great because the website company appreciates us. Why? Because if the listings that we supply for your website trigger a lead and you make $30,000, you're going to always want to keep that website. So it's really built in to help every website company in the world to provide you your website service to host the links and the listings from literally from the ICI World Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople. So reasons why you don't get listings, well, it could be lack of listings and they're not structured properly, showing addresses, no traffic to your website. And a lot of brokers are not cognizant of the fact that you should be promoting your website. And you can start with every single person you talk to. If you miss getting your website added to one of your customers, family, friends, acquaintances, somebody that you know, then you're missing opportunities to plant seeds that can come up later for you to benefit you. The other thing is that I go into some brokers' websites and other brokers are agreeing to allow their listings to be on your website, but some services require that you have to update them and accept those handshakes. And if you don't do that and you had 20 other brokers, it could be one of those listings that your customer doesn't see because you didn't approve the handshake in a timely fashion, and you could actually be missing doing deals and not realize it. I see that happening with every salesperson. I see it happening with brokerages, that they actually can be missing doing deals and not realize it. It doesn't matter what company it is. I see it happening all over, and that's the subject of our new seminar we're designing for the winter coming up months in our area, diamonds on the floor of a broker's office. Okay, and sometimes they're not framed properly. If somebody clicks on a listing and it takes them to another place, you can end up losing them. So it's nice to have the listings come up within your website. We call it framing, and that way the people stay on your website. And let's talk about this now, domain names. You know, we're recommending that you have 3 domain names. One domain name should be your own name, real easy for somebody to get to. And if your name is already taken, then you can just add like johnsmithrealestate.com, or if John Smith is already taken and realestate.com is taken, you can say John Smith Real Estate, a number 4, the letter U.com. Something short, sweet, and easy that people can recognize. The second thing you need is a domain name that if people search something in the search engines, that it's similar to what they're searching, so that it gives a chance for your website to come up. And we're going to give you in a moment 8 valuable items that you should mark down now. If you can mark down numbers 1 to 8 underneath paper, you should mark that down now. Numbers 1 to 8, and we're going to go through these numbers. These are part of the absolutely essential items to get the basics working for you. And one of them, the very first one, is domain names you can mark down. So we're recommending 3 domain names, and the people that can help you with domain names, and one of them you can do a consultation session with us, but you can also do it with Google AdWords as well. And they'll kind of help you picking what people are searching for on the internet. So that if somebody is searching, let's say, Mississauga real estate, would it be good to have Mississauga and real estate in one of your domain names? The answer, of course, is yes. However, in the case of like Toronto, where you've got 3 to 3 million people, it's kind of hard to get up there doing these simple search engine algorithms. That's why we're suggesting 48 hours to the top of the search engine with pay-per-click. Because other people have already spent years designing and doing all of these various techniques, and they've already optimized all of those, so you're going to have a hard time beating them, get to the top of any major city. The smaller centers, you can absolutely get to the top in a what we call an organic fashion without having to go pay-per-click to get to the top, just by doing a lot of the things that we're going through here in a moment. Because a lot of the other people are not even aware that they could be doing that to get to the top. When Google searches your website, if your website has like Mississauga real estate on it, all of a sudden you're going to get some brownie points with Google to have a chance to come up. But if there's a million of you, then they're going to go to the next thing. And we're going to cover the next thing here in a moment. So we have these how to promote websites that come up each month. We're recommending that you take it every month until you're actually triggering leads from your website and get into the workshops. Okay, now we also have another set of resources. I'm not going to go into it in the essence of time. icrworld.com, you should /resources. Please go there on your own time. Today's session is just to cue you in onto what you can be doing to help yourself. And that's really, it's an overview of it all. Specifically, we can get into it, but it would take a whole day to kind of go into it, and maybe even a 2-day session course that if we were to go into it in detail, but we're trying to give you an overview. It's literally 20 years of being on the internet, all sort of crammed in and into this one particular session that we're doing now, and then leaving you work to do throughout the year. We recommend that you come back and review this each year, because you will find by taking it over and over again that you say, oh geez, I haven't been doing that, or I haven't been doing that. Because when you hear it for the first time, a lot of this stuff is gobbledygook. You really won't understand it. But if you take it the second or third time, it's like riding a bicycle. After a while, you start to get used to it and what you have to do to put these things in place. Let's move on. There they are, people. Write them down. Numbers 1 to 8 on the screen. And I'll go through some of these with you right now. But you should start writing these all down. And the first one, of course, is domain name. We recommend 3 domain names. 1, your own simple domain name, whatever it is. People that know you, they can remember it in your mind. It's easy because they know you, and just add .com. Or modify it just a little bit so that if it's John Smith, realestate.com, if you have to do that. But just put something after John Smith, if that's your name, and just change it. Just add something, and that'll be simple for people to remember your domain name. But in addition to that, you should have more than one domain name that can actually have the location in which you're located. So in a big city, it's hard to do like Toronto real estate or MiamiRealEstate.com because people have already got those names, VancouverRealEstate.com, etc. But what you can do is take some neighborhoods in your city. Now, if you took a neighborhood in your city, it's a lot less searches for that particular neighborhood. But if you're at the top of that search neighborhood for real estate, wow, you can be getting the business going into that neighborhood. So I'm suggesting that you consider neighborhoods in a domain name for yourself, so that if somebody happens to search, maybe Meadowvale in Mississauga, and that happens to be one of your domain names, you have a chance to come up when somebody searches that. So you can think of the neighborhoods and areas in your area to kind of come up if you're in a big city. The page title has to include that as well, so that if you have a title on your page that includes those cities, then you have a chance to come up. So if somebody searches the domain name and it's also in the title, and somebody else doesn't have the title, then your website comes up. The meta description and the meta keywords. Now we're going to actually go into Olga's website now, and I'm going to show you some of these items in there. Now, where did I put Olga's website? One moment, please. I've got it here someplace, I think. Okay, there's Olga's website. I'm going to go back to Edit Website, and we're going to go into these page settings, but I'm going to do it for her home page. I'm going to go to home page here and go to page settings, and you'll see that there's the page title. Okay, so in other words, what we're doing, I wonder if I can put these side by side. Yeah, let me see if I can do it. Hang on one second. Oopsie daisy. What did I do here? And let me just kind of close that. Okay, let me hang on. I'll get there. Just have a little, I know what I'm trying to do here. Let's move that there, and move that there. Actually, I've got another screen in the way. That's why it's a little tricky for me, but I can do that there. Move that, go to meeting panel out of the way, and do that there, make this smaller. Just for the moment, make it smaller. Okay, so there we have the search engine. There's the page of information on Olga's website on the left, and this is what we want. So in other words, we would like to see Olga have a domain name of the area in which she works. And in your case, Olga, what area do you work?
Erin Mills.
What's it called?
Erin Mills.
How do you spell it?
E-R-I-N, separate word, M-I-L-L-S.
Okay, so that could be part of your domain name. In other words, if you had a domain name that had Erin Mills Real Estate in it, when somebody searches Erin Mills Real Estate, in fact, why don't we just go, and let me see, what's the best way to do this? Let me open another window, hang on. Let's go to Google, and let's type in Erin Mills Real Estate. Okay? So if somebody searches Erin Mills Real Estate, there's some of the, now here's what's nice, the websites we supply are actually Point Two Homes. We're an official distributor, an official educator, and an official first line of support. If anything goes wrong with your website, you can actually call us first for that. But we actually support all websites in the world, but we work with the Point Two people for the last 10 years and set them totally up. We actually totally do the design work, which can cost money. For some people have spent a lot of money, from $500 to $3,000 and more to design it. We include that in your membership when you have one of the websites from us. And you'll see that I'm going to try to find, I just want to see what's coming up here. So you'll see the websites that are coming up here. And what we want to really kind of do is to try to get your website to come up here on the front page. Well, guess what? When you do a pay-per-click, people, it costs so much per click. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you spent $300 a month for 3 months. $300 a month times 3 is a $900 budget, or $100 a month for 3 months is a $300 budget. And you offered $1 per click. That means, actually, just let me go and give you another example so that I can show you the actual pay-per-click what happens. Mississauga. Actually, I want to type it in Mississauga real estate here. Mississauga real estate, because you'll see pay-per-click here. How come we don't see pay-per-click? Oh, there they are. There's pay-per-click. Okay, you'll see some of them coming up. Mississauga real estate. And you know something? Why isn't it coming up and happening more? That's interesting. Hang on. Toronto real estate. Usually it says the word ads. There they are. Okay. Top stories. Homes. Don't tell me I've shut the ads off on my... Okay, I think I've shut ads off. That's interesting. Okay, so that's an open question that we're going to have to follow up. And because usually you're going to see ads come up here and it shows you which ones the people are paying for ads. Hold on one second here. Part of the reasons why maybe some ads are not showing is because you have ad blockers on the screen. That could be the reason why as well. But ads should be showing when you do search results, and then when you do pay-per-click, you're usually coming up right at the top depending on how much pay-per-click you spent. The nice thing about the pay-per-click is that if you spend $100, that's your budget. Make sure, by the way, you tell them that you want to stop at 100, because if you got 1,000 clicks, it costs you $1,000. But $100, if somebody clicked on it, when they see your ad and go to your website, that's good. And if they see a property and you make an appointment and you go show the property and make $20,000, that's wonderful. And it basically cost you $1. But sometimes people will click on it, visit your website, and maybe they don't call you or don't, do business with you, in which case that will be a cost. But over time, you can actually evaluate it literally within the first month, because if you're getting traffic going to your website and you're not getting leads, there's something wrong. Because it's designed that when you put a word like Mississauga real estate, if somebody clicks on your pay-per-click ad, goes to your website, you will have lots of listings in Mississauga, and people should be interested in that, and they should give you a call. And if you're not getting the calls, then I'd like to personally know, as a broker, we want to make sure all this stuff kind of works for you, and the only way to do it is by analyzing it. Sometimes the ads don't come up because you've got spam blocking software. But all of these things are new technology, and things are changing. And then I just did a little search, and I found in Forbes sometimes pay-per-click is not right for you. Why? Because it's the major companies that are doing it, and they're pricing a lot of the smaller people out of the business because they're bidding so much pay-per-click. So there's not the only way to kind of do business, but it's one of the ways. Now, coming up in a natural fashion in this particular title here, we're going to put Erin Mills Real Estate. So I'm going to recommend, by the way, that you have one domain name, Olga, with Erin Mills Real Estate in your domain name. So if you have Erin Mills Real Estate for you.com, that could be one way, or Erin Mills Real Estate Info.com. or erinmillsrealestatehelp.com, something like that. And then that way you get Erin Mills and real estate in one of your domain names, and then when they see, then when Google checks your domain name, you've got Erin Mills Real Estate in it. They check your page title and you've got Erin Mills Real Estate in it. Then they check your meta description, you got Erin Mills Real Estate in it. And then they check your meta keywords and you've got Erin Mills Real Estate in it. That is a recipe for success, to have that come up like that. I'm going to click on OK if it's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay, let's give it a shot, and maybe we can analyze this. Now, the first sentence on the page, you're going to see over here, you've got the domain name, the page title, the meta description, the meta keywords. We got to highlight the first sentence on the page in bold. This is the first sentence. I'm going to recommend that we actually go in and start to edit this header. Welcome for all your real estate needs in the Erin Mills area and the GTA. How do you feel about, just 1 second, my headset's got caught here. Hang on 1 second. How do you feel about having Aaron Mills Real Estate and the GTA in the header here?
Sure, it doesn't hurt because I deal with the GTA. You know.
How's that?
Good.
Okay, let's try that. And then this first sentence on the welcome to Real Page, your source for Mississauga real estate. Let's go to that page, and I'm going to get that working. Allow that so we can modify that. Welcome to Real Page Real Estate Brokerage, your source for, let's put it in, Aaron Mills, Mississauga, and Greater Toronto Area real estate. How's that sound?
Great. Yeah.
Okay, now you've got this up here. Can we make that the second sentence? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Let's just take that out of there. And do you need that put in any place what we just took out? Do you still need that? Let me just put it in here. I'll show you what it is. Hang on. Ellen Mills, sales reference, award-winning. I like award-winning Mississauga GTA homes and condos. Oopsie daisy. Hang on. Let's just, we'll put that right there for now. And let's leave an extra space in there. Hang on 1 second. And let's leave an extra space in here. Hang on. There we go. Okay, how's that?
Really good.
Okay, you can change this around a little later in the essence of time. We're going to just kind of do it that way. But what I wanted was to get this first sentence on the page. You'll notice you got to highlight the first sentence in bold. This is bolded. So Google will actually check the bold feature of the first sentence and go in there and pick out all the words. And you've got Aaron Mills in here, and you've got the word real estate in here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll find those keywords if somebody searches. So if somebody searches Aaron Mills real estate, it's in your domain name, page title, meta description, first sentence on the page. Wonderful. So you go ahead and we're going to save this. Hang on. And click on OK here. So that's one way to do that. Now for people that don't have one of our websites, you can actually call your own internet service provider and tell them that's what you want to do using those particular search terms, which are now on the screen. Let's focus on that because this is what's going to make you money. There it is there. Up to number 5 you've got so far. Mm-hmm. Now, if you do register a domain name and say somebody else has got a similar domain names with Aaron Mills Real Estate in it, but they only registered for 1 year, but you can register it for 10 years, they might give you a little more preference to come up in the search engine. Now the next thing is you got to have a mobile website, which you do in your case, Olga. Let me just go back. If we were to make your website sort of smaller, you'll see that your website is nicely mobilized.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got all of the search social media on here that you need. Okay? Mm-hmm. So you've got social media. So if we go down here, registering number 6, domain name for 10 years, and the mobile site and social media, you've got that. But then the last thing is you should...
Shouldn't Lincoln or Lincoln was in another area, eh?
Yes.
Lincoln?
Yeah, you can do the Facebook, Twitter, and you'll see some of these other ones that are here. There's LinkedIn. Okay, so social media is very important to have on your website so they know that you're plugged in. And all they're trying to do is deliver a website to the person who's inquiring to give them a valuable result that could be helpful to them. And they're doing that in every industry, not just for real estate. And of course, pay-per-click is 48 hours to the top, and it goes by budget. And if you ask Google AdWords, just mark that down, Google AdWords, ask them for 75. I'm sorry?
What is it, 48 hours to the top?
That means if you can open up a Google AdWords account with Google, and let's say you give them $100 for a budget for Google for pay-per-click,
yes,
you can actually be to the top of the search engine within 48 hours.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then when somebody clicks on it, it's going to use up $1 of your $100 budget, or $1 of your $300 or $200 budget. So you got $199 left or $99 left. And then after 1 month, you'll see if your budget gets used. Sometimes your budget doesn't get used because your pay-per-click amount is not high enough. If you only bid 20 cents, Google's going to put up all the people that are bidding $1 and $2 per click because that's how they make money and get richer and richer.
I see.
So sometimes you have to bid higher in order to get higher. So they're making every industry compete against themselves. So they're making you compete against other real estate people and they're getting the benefit. Now, if you end up, somebody uses up your $100 budget and you haven't got any calls on anything off your nice website, like you've got a website that, let me go back here, where did I put it? If we come back here to your website and people click on commercial and they search homes, for instance, and they go down to their price range and find what they want, and you're not getting any calls, there's something wrong because people specifically clicked on that to search real estate. That's why I do like pay-per-click, because no one should click on it if they're not interested. So if somebody clicks on Aaron Mills Real Estate, they're really interested in Aaron Mills. Okay, let's move on. So there you go, search engine optimization. That's what we've just done here. And give that a whirl and a try for a while and see how that works. How to promote your website. We do have a printout for that, how to market your website from Point 2. And we've got a lot of really good ideas. Let me see if can I right click? No, I got to click on it. Okay, let's click on this. I've got a special feature here. Oopsie daisy, maybe we don't. That link has changed, but we do have webinars and resources. And let me see, let's see if we can search how to promote. Okay, doesn't seem to be here. They've changed the link on us here, but there's a whole list of success series from the Point 2 people that you can actually learn from as well. They got some great resources, and I think there is a page there someplace that we can search, and I'll try to help you find it if you don't find it there. How to promote your website and other articles from them. So there's articles from different services. You can actually go on the internet too and type in how to promote your real estate website and get a lot of great ideas. That's part of the resources that we've also had for you too. Okay, search engine optimization from Google. Actually, let's go there. Hang on, click on that. And there's a great article that you can kind of go down and see, and it's all kinds of things down here. This is really getting into it in detail. You could put somebody on a program in the summer, hire a student to get them to go and do all of these kind of things here that you see on the screen. Okay, do you need an SEO? Search engine optimization starter guide. Let's check that out. Click on that. There it is. That is a PDF document. There it is. In fact, you know something? I'm going to right click and copy that. And there it is. Welcome to the Google Search Engine Starter Guide. Bingo. Starter education, table of contents, basics. There you go. Optimizing images. When you put the images, how you name the images can be a big difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that right now. You can see how I can actually add it right on to, and I'm going to make this another PDF file, Google Starter Guide. Okay, and I can actually highlight that and make it a link. 1 second, insert and link. There it is. Put that link in. Bingo. And there's a PDF file, PDF starter guide. Let's save this, which I've done. Okay, so that makes it available for you. Next. What are ways to promote your website? We're going to now wind down as we finish off the session. Driving traffic to your website becomes very profitable, and there's many ways to do it. Don't think there's just one way. Many, many ways to promote your business, which is your website. We've already talked about getting visitors to add your website to their mobile phone, walking all the businesses in your downtown area. Everyone you meet, get them to put your website on their phone. Oh yeah, in your ads, when you advertise in a newspaper, you're advertising one listing. Why not have your website in every one of your ads and say, visit our website. We have thousands of listings, exclusive and residential and commercial and MLS, and put that right in your ads in your newspaper advertising. And people will take time to go to your website to check out the new listings, because 90% of people that search for real estate are using the internet. And if they see an ad in a website, they'll go search the internet to get to your website. You'll be mighty surprised. Okay, keyword rich name. We've already talked about that. In your case, it's aaronmillsrealestate.com. That's a very good term to be using for. And you can make a page within your website and have Aaron Mills Real Estate go to that page. You can have a page for Mississauga Real Estate. You can have a page within your websites and have the domain name to go to that page and feature things in Mississauga on that page, so that you have Mississauga sprinkled in as keywords on that page. And on your Aaron Mills page, have Aaron Mills Real Estate on that page, because Google actually goes through and searches for other words on that page as well. So it's good to have that working. Alrighty. Pay-per-click, we've talked about all of this. I'm leaving it on the screen. You can read through it. And by the way, if you're listening to this at a later time, you just pause the screen and stop it, and you can space it a little bit if you have to recount something, and then forward it if you want to. There is the search tool. There's $75 of free ads that you can get. So if you open up a budget of, maybe $100 a month for the next 3 months, make sure you get your $75 of free ads from Google. If you open up an account, you should have it. You can mention ICI World if you wish. And there you go. And they will actually give you a search engine tool of being able to search keywords that people are searching, and all the highest results for Aaron Mills Real Estate. Maybe it could be Aaron Mills Homes for Sale, or those kinds of things. And they'll show you the different search terms so that when somebody searches, your website can come up. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and if they're only $16.50 and you don't have it, you're kind of maybe missing out on all the exclusive listings that you could be having. There's some of the other areas. When people in other countries of the world, they go to the embassies in other areas, you can search for real estate, and it brings up the economic development offices for each city. So if Aaron Mills Real Estate, Aaron Mills, the town hall, whoever services that, they might have a list of all the businesses in Aaron Mills. You should get yourself listed in the businesses in your community, whether it's the chambers of commerce or the economic development offices. Is there a listing for real estate? Give them a call, get listed, and you can end up having someone from an embassy from another country do the search and give you a call from their country and say, can you send me some real estate listings? And you can say, go to my website, and they can subscribe, and your website can automatically send out listings. If you're doing open houses, you should be programming every person coming through that open house to receive listings from your website absolutely free. You can program their price range, the neighborhoods they're looking for. I would have 2 or 3 iPads on the table and say, program yourselves to receive listings, and help them. You could have 2 or 3 families all programming themselves to receive listings from your website. And 2 weeks from now, after that open house, they get an email from your website with a new listing. They call you and say, Olga, I'd like to go see this house tonight at 7 o'clock. Can you set it up for us? That's what these websites can do automatically. That's why I'm saying that diamonds on the floor in a broker's office, you're missing opportunities, the general industry not having this set up to receive these exclusive listings. A lot of brokers do it for the real estate board, but some of them are even missing that too, to get these websites automatically sending out listings. So if you have a buyer and you don't have an automatic setup to send them listings, and you're just relying on yourself to find them listings, you could be missing opportunities and not even realize it. Anytime you send out an email, you should have your website in as a signature file, so that people can actually see who you are, and people that want to check you out and see how nice you are, and the good designations that you have, and all the services that you might be involved in. If you have charitable events, and put them on your website, and your companies might be doing charitable things, put that on your website so it shows that you're concerned and you love your community and like to give back. Joining groups is important. If you sit down at a table and you're talking to a builder at a table, you should tell them you've got subdivision potential, condo townhouse sites, infill sites in your city, and that builder will take your business card, and even if he doesn't know how to put it on his phone or search a computer, he's going to give it to his assistant to research your site and come up with the numbers, and they call you back. You go show a property and you can make $200,000 showing one piece of land and get all the houses back. That's what I did with a builder one time many years ago. Social media, we've already talked about that. You got to have it on your website, and you should be posting your website on your social media, and all of your designations should go on all of these things. On your LinkedIn profile, you should link all of your personal SRES designations and all your other designations, put them on your LinkedIn profile. And take out radio ads. You can do all of these other things. People have been doing it as well. And study the keyword tools. Google will give you the keyword tool to study that. Don't try to trick the search engines, or they'll end up, some people have bought a page of a whole bunch of links to other sites, and at one time it'd bring you to the top of the search engine, but it was a trick. Don't try to trick the Googles of the world. They can drop you right off in a flash. Finding keywords, the tools, you'll find that from Google AdWords as well. Linking to other sites, very important, and vice versa. It gives relevance that shows that you're a competent site in the community being used by services, and that'll help bring your website up in the search engines. And there's some of the example of reciprocal links that you can have, people linking to you and vice versa. Now, there is a 22-minute presentation on domain names from ICI World. If anybody sees this and wants it and can't get it, just give us a call. We'll help you. Setting up an appointment with us to help design a domain name and logged into your website. You know how to make an appointment. Go to iciworld.com and click on Make an Appointment. There is a checklist, but most people don't even need this checklist because the websites today are all very sophisticated and have all of these guidelines already on them. But the key thing is, don't go longer than 90 days without doing business, or give us a call. Now you can ask them for $100 of advertising, and I think they might give it to you. So 75 for sure, but try for 100. Try that. See how it works. Call google.com, go to AdWords, and open up an account and get to the top of the search engine within 48 hours. If somebody clicks on that word, bingo, they go to your website, they could call you on a listing, and next thing you know, you're showing property. And the beautiful thing about the websites we also supply is people can subscribe themselves to receive listings for their area and price range of property.
Now, to get this coupon, you have to buy $100?
Yes. Yeah, you can, you set your own budget. You set your own budget, Olga. And, you know, try it. I recommend people try it for 3 months for $100, $200, or $300 because, you know, if you get one lead, somebody calls you on one house, you know, you make $10,000 or $20,000. Okay. Now, just one moment, please. Just hold on one moment, please. Hang on. Okay, so one thing we really like and appreciate in consideration of us providing this to you is to give us a little feedback to the people that are going to see this just by video in the future. Our address is customer service at iciworld.com. We really would appreciate your feedback. We really like your comments. We like to hear, you know, 2 or 3 things that you feel that you maybe learn from today's session and any suggestions that you have. You will also get a survey that comes up after this session for the people that have registered, and people that see this later will receive a copy of it by email, a recording, and we'll also be putting it on YouTube later as well for the general industry, the organized real estate industry to see and kind of learn from. And we really appreciate your comments. You all have a great day, and let's see, and that's it for today. I'll leave it back on our contact numbers here. One moment. And you can learn more by going to this for members. And you can actually learn about the two major things that we're interested in making sure you're aware about. That is the mobile-friendly websites and the widgets that go on your website, the two tools. You get that under the 4 members at iciworld.com, and then you come down here and you can register for next month's webinar. That's it for today. Have a great day, and we're always here for you. One moment.
Thank you very much.